Good evening or good afternoon to you all. My name is Musime Ezekiel, and I'm going to be your host for this Girls and Heroines series talk show. This show is placed of amazing women and girls who have been working tirelessly in their different sectors of activity. To our viewers, feel free to comment, like, and share this event to your family and friends as you help us to inspire, motivate more young ladies and women in Africa. Our guest today, the 14th of October 2022, is a wonderful young lady, Miss Nakanjako Whitney, very intelligent and so determined to do wonder in her life. She's holding a she's holding a bachelor's degree of arts in social sciences. She's passionate about her children, persons with disability, women, technology, and robotics. She's also an esteemed bootcamp alumni for young women at the American Center, and she's here with us today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Whitney.
Thank you so much, Ezekiel, for hosting me. I'm glad to be here.
Whitney, I'm so happy to have you here with us today, and I am sure after this session, the viewers online, I'm pretty sure they want to know more about you. So tell us more about yourself, your career, your passion, and what makes you fight in life.
Thank you so much. Like he said, my name is Whitney Nakanjako. I'm a recent graduate from Makere University with a Bachelor's of Arts in Social Sciences. I'm also a in STEM bootcamp alumni from American Center, Kampala. I'm also a Self Sister Fellow. It's a Self Sister team that runs, it's about digital ending online gender-based violence among women and all the youths, everyone that uses the internet. I'm passionate about children, persons with disabilities, women and technology as well. And currently, I work as a STEAM and robotics facilitator at Girls for Tech and Innovation Africa under the Education Project. And while there, I work with Mulago School for the Deaf, Noah's Ark School in Garuga, Agape Primary School, and some of these schools are schools for special needs people and others. And that's where I am right now. And we create innovative solutions, and we are promoting STEM among the children. We are starting with the children, and I'm glad to be part of it, being part of the children, doing what I love, what I'm passionate about. Thank you so much. What makes me fight in life is every time I wake up and I remember I'm a firstborn child in my family, it motivates me. I feel like all my siblings are looking at a big sister. They, I wouldn't want to disappoint them or do things that make me feel ashamed in front of them. So I try my best to fight. And also, I like um, I like seeking for new opportunities, especially learning opportunities. So I believe knowledge is power. If I have knowledge about something, I know that's my value, like that's what I have. So it pushes me hard to fight and know that I have something. I don't like being in one place for a long time. So I try as much as I can. Like the urge for me to be better every day pushes me to fight in life. Yeah, thank you so much, Ezekiel.
That's really interesting. You are you're quite young, but I believe you do so much for the most vulnerable. So, as an esteemed bootcamp alumni for young women at the American Center, uh, I believe you've started to impact people around you. So, tell us what draws you towards the social work the social works world, and maybe describe to us your journey so far in this professional world as a social worker, and how would you want your community to remember about you? What would you want your community to remember about you?
Um, Growing up, I wanted to be a veterinary doctor, but then as you grow up, the passion changes. Then it came to being a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer, but then things didn't turn out like that. So I looked in my community. I said, during the training for law, I realized if I do something that helps my community, the individuals and our groups, because social work is basically about that. It's more of a like a helping profession. I decided to do social sciences, which makes me a social worker by profession. And through that, I learned a lot. I've learned a lot being where I am in my social work career. And it started way back when I was in high school. I was in the Interact Club, but in my school, the Interact Club wasn't more of the dancing part, like how some people perceive it, interact, calling different schools. Ours was more of charity. Actually, it was the different part of our year because we decided let our club be about charity. So we used to organize charity events. So one time we went to Mubende as a school. We mobilized fellow students and we visited an orphanage. This orphanage had young children that had been abandoned, and most of these children were HIV positive. Some of them had mental illnesses and they were abandoned. So this lady had gathered them all together and she used to take care of them. When you went to see these kids, they were really excited to see us. And I really felt like there is need, like if I grow up and I get an opportunity to help out such people. Actually, the lady requested us to take up any child to help them. I remember that time these kids were paying around 45,000 as their fees. I teamed up with a friend. That was in my S5 2016. Yeah, 2016. I teamed up with a friend and we picked up one child on the little upkeep I used to get. We used to send money to this child because it was like an initiative for all our cabinet members in the entire club by then. Then when I went to campus, I was like, if I don't do law, by all means I'll do social work or social sciences. And that's how I went into the social work field because I was touched by the plight like of the destitute, people in need, and I felt like I need to be there for the good of my community and me as an individual because it makes me feel better as a person. Yeah. And also, yeah, that's it basically. And during some of the things I've done in my social work, during lockdown, I had an opportunity to take up to do an internship in my home community. I worked as a CDO, the Community Development Officer, and it was more about the community. And I used to see these children come to me. My boss was like, Whitney, you're going to handle family issues, you're going to handle probation and welfare activities, and for him, you'll handle other duties. So I had to watch parents come with family disputes. I had to handle family disputes. I had to handle displaced children because that office, if a child has been violated, they would come and report to the office and they would find me there. So I had my responsibility. I would write a letter. I summoned the parents. I tell them to come. Failure to come, we would work with the police and we go for that father who has refused to maybe take of their children. Once the child came and reported to us, we used to find an initiative, like we used to find a way of resettling them back to their families. We had a lot of, I used to do a lot of sensitization. We used to work with the LC1 chairman, and he would mobilize. That time there was too much of, during lockdown, some parents had given up on school. This is before, after that real time when we were all during quarantine. So these children, we used to call these parents, and we gather them as a village, like village meeting. I used to go with my other colleague, and would sit these parents down, and we talk about child labor, because most of these parents in villages had given up. They would give their children baskets to go and hawk different stuff like maize, what, and all that. So realized by the end of those meetings, people had started pinpointing their friends. You do this, you do this, and we educated them about the use of education, especially among our children. And we told them that we also sensitized them about children's rights. We had to discuss about the different children's rights. A lot of things we used to do in the office as a community development office. We also used to look for sensitize the community, especially persons with disabilities. When the government brings out opportunities for them, we used to educate them about them, how they can, like how they used to form different groups, and they would get different funding, and they start up initiatives of their own. Basically, it was more of vocational training. Most of those women would form groups of persons with disabilities, and they do tailoring, those small associations, and we felt good because we're empowering them about that. My other journey was in still 2020. I got an opportunity to have a training on digital safety from IDEA Gender and Technology Initiative Uganda. We were a group of 10 girls, and we were chosen to be the digital human rights ambassadors among university students, and I was in Makerere University. So we used to mobilize fellow students and talk to them about how to be safe online, how the online gender-based violence, the different cyberbullying forms, like all those things, hacking, the revenge porn, all those things. And through that organization, through that initiative, we used to go for different trainings, conferences, and workshops. Basically, that's why I learned more of human rights, human rights defending and activism, especially in the digital world. And also, I had more insight. I got more enlightenment on what I really want to be, how I want to create impact in my community, and how I want to be remembered. At the moment, I work with Girls for Tech and Innovation Africa, like I said earlier on. We are also still working with children, persons with disabilities, and we are promoting STEM education. And we believe by starting with the children, it's going to help them in the future throughout their life
Um,
skills. Yeah.
that's quite a journey that you've had. Um, you've been passionate about science, technology, and engineering, arts and mathematics, and robotics, and you're impacting the young generation uh, in the different fields that you are in right now. As a facilitator for Girls for Tech and Innovation, tell us about the projects and the activities as a facilitator you are doing, and how this has impacted the life of the young generation.
As a facilitator at Girls for Tech and Innovation Africa, we've done so many projects. We've done many Lego sessions where children are told to do human robots, to do towers out of the Lego blocks. Children have done trucks, different trucks. Uh, they have also done the different road means, like the trucks, the motorbikes, like through the Lego sessions, like they construct different activities of their own. It's good for their mental health. We've done it in every school. because it's creative for them and it helps them to be problem solvers in the future. We've also done cameras, like we teach them more. We first teach them about the theory part, then we enlighten more on how they can use this in the future. And since they do it hands-on as them, we've also done building towers out of cardboard boxes. We've done so many projects through cardboards, and we believe that we've created impact among these children because it's going to help them in some way when they grow up. Yeah, and yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Basically,
Okay.
problem solving, creativity. Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, tell us more about the general activities the organization does and how is the organization impacting Africa?
The organization has so many programs. We have the leadership program. Under the leadership program, we have the weekly talk shows where we bring different women in STEM, like to inspire and tell their stories. We also have the education project. Under the education project, that's why we have our STEM online activities. We also have outreach activities to different schools. We also have the mentorship program. It's done basically in the secondary school, actually basically to teach them about career guidance and how they should be mentored and how they can manage their lives in a professional way in regards to their career, and also psychological support. There are so many projects the organization has done, and through these projects and programs the organization has, we believe we are empowering the girl child. The girl children are being empowered and being motivated to be better. We are encouraging STEM education, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, and it's a very good initiative. A lot is being done with Girls for Tech and Innovation Africa. Also, through the leadership program, women are empowered to speak, to raise up their voices, to speak against any injustices against them, to also inspire the young generation. Because when we bring someone to come and speak about their journey, to inspire them about STEM and all that, it helps the children or the viewers or the participants in any way to learn more and feel they're really empowered. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Um, you are as a facilitator of Girls for Tech and Innovation Africa, and through your journey, you've become a strong young woman striving for a better future. But the world is full of challenges, and I am sure you have personally come across some of the challenges along your journey. So maybe you could tell us more about these challenges, and but most especially how you keep yourself motivated to attain your goals.
Yeah, a lot of challenges women face in their journey, especially the young people. Basically, I will talk about the part of employment, be it internship, as long as you want to be in any space and it has a male domination. At times, men try to do sexual harassment. They want to use themselves because they're in power to force girls into different activities. And I believe most of the girls have been victims of this. It can also be through online, and also when you go for a job application and then someone is like, for you to have this position, you have to do this and this. And personally, because I know I've also been through that, how I've been able to overcome that is I stand my ground. I think other girls should learn from this. You need to speak up. You tell the person, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the opportunity, but unfortunately, I can't comply with what you're doing or what you want from me, and also you avoid situations that put you in such places. That's one way you can overcome. Even you can also be violated online. You can be in an interview and someone says, there are a lot of assaults are done that are online, but basically sexual assaults and harassment is part of them. The other challenge would be criticism. Normally, everyone in all their journeys, we are all criticized no matter what. It can be most times the criticisms are always negative, but you learn to know and believe in yourself. You don't let what another person has said or their opinion, because you don't know what they're basing on to tell you that. So I don't let such negative energy or negative criticism put me down. I reflect on what the person has said and I find a way to overcome it and I remain with what I want. And basically, that's standing your ground, knowing what you want no matter what, and you keep positive. Being positive makes us move. Like, you don't give up. You feel like, yes, I'll do it. I'll do this. No matter what Sansa said, I'll be what I want. I'll do this. Yeah. Another one would be low self-esteem. Uh, as I was growing up, I had a low self-esteem. Like, sometimes you feel, because someone has said something, you feel, oh, will I make it? Will I do what? But what I've learned is not to let other people put me down. No matter what, now I can stand on my own and say what I want. I can stand on my ground and do what I want. As long as I know something is not affecting anyone around me, I try my best to be what I want to be. Thank you.
That's really that's been a very long journey for you. I want to know, yeah, your views about the following words. How do they speak to you personally? Women empowerment. How does women empowerment speak to you? What's your view on women empowerment, on digital advocacy, and disability inclusion?
In my opinion, women empowerment is more of letting the girl child, letting women have control of their own lives. Like, empowering is basically you're giving people the rights, you're giving them the access, you're giving them the opportunities that make them better or feel better of themselves. So this can be in regards to women empowerment, this can be in form of financial empowerment, it can be social empowerment, it can be psychological, it can be spiritual, and they're all different ways. Women shouldn't feel inferior because of their gender. If you're a woman and you want to do something, you want to be economically empowered, you're going to stand, or some people are going to help lift you up through training. For example, I would give an example of the women back in rural communities. They have a lot of culture in them, but if I or someone comes out and goes to that community and maybe tells this woman, you don't have to sit home when you can do something to make money of your own. And maybe these women are given vocational training in forms of tailoring, hairdressing. That's empowering these women, because at times women, we are strong in all ways, and if you empower them and give them the skills, you give them the right knowledge, be it I talked about the spiritual part, it can also be in form of emotional support. If someone is feeling down, they have been violated, and you help them overcome, you're empowering them to be better, because other women are going to learn from that. Just like they say, even when it comes to education, educate a nation, educate a woman and you're educating a nation. So basically, women empowerment is women having the power the equal access to labor, equal access, like they're having equal opportunities, be it in decision making, they're being included in all ways and they can control their own lives. You talked about digital advocacy. Digital advocacy, in my opinion, would be like a society or an organization or a group of people realizing a need and they try to find ways, possible solutions to overcome that cause. It could be in terms of online gender-based violence, in terms of cyberbullying. When you stand up and you advocate for the digital rights, like everyone who uses the internet has the right, like any individual, we all have, regardless of who I am, whether I'm having special needs, whether I'm what, I have my right to use the internet. No one has the right to come and say you or use the hate speech, whatever, to make you put down. And if a group of people comes out, that is advocacy to me because they are trying to find a general cause or purpose for that. For disability inclusion to me is understanding, recognizing something or a person in a situation, then you find ways to function, how you find a way to relate with them regardless of how they function. If I come into a community, I see someone, they can't hear me but they can speak. Oh, no, if I come to a community and I find persons with disabilities, basically, let me use that as an example. uh, Being disabled doesn't mean you're unable to do something. Disability is not inability. So if we, the ones that don't have the disability, have access to human rights, because human rights are basically essential for everyone regardless of who you are. So when you recognize this person, you find a way to relate with them, you give them the access, the attitude you give in, how are you willing to associate with this person regardless of how they function. That's being inclusive. And they can be included in terms of education, like for example STEM, in terms of how they use the internet, in terms of the digital world, because they are also normal, they can also function. As long as someone can function and participate, they deserve the access to all equal opportunities in society. Thank you.
Okay. That's I would like to know, since I believe so many women have passed through your life. You've seen women grow up. You've seen people on TV, and so many women have come through your life, school, and maybe through your professional life. So, would you tell us, the ones that actually served as your role models, and how have they inspired you, or say a few words about them?
Basically, I've grown up in a family full of women. Personally, our family is big and most of us are women. I've grown up watching my mom, my aunties, my grandparents, and they're all successful in their own way. They are hardworking people in their own way. And they have taught me not to rely on anyone as a woman, to wait, to always be given. If I have the hands, I have the skills, I have the knowledge, I can get something out of myself without waiting for someone to come and bring something on my table. So watching their stories, their experiences has inspired me because I keep referring to them. They teach me different stuff because I keep learning each and every day. And also, I look up to them because they're my role models. If I look in my family and I see all the women successful, everyone is successful in their own way, no matter how they be, how they live. And the fact that they have raised me, and I appreciate who I am because of all the women. Basically, I would upload my mom and all the beautiful, wonderful ladies in my family. Yeah, thank you. That is it.
That is so adorable. That is really adorable.
Yeah.
That is really adorable. Uploading your family. as your role models. Personally, as a youth myself, I can relate to all that you have said. Basically, about because I have sisters of my own, and they always tell me about the challenges they're facing through their professional world. And I feel like I believe other people out there are also they also relate to what you're saying, especially the graduates and all the people have just got into the professional world. Since we are coming to the end of our show, would you like what would be your advice to the young women or men out there who have not yet found their purpose yet, and how can they discover it?
To the young people, to me personally, I believe we are all here for a purpose. We have a purpose why we are here today, why we are in this world, why we are wherever we are. There's a purpose. So when someone feels like they don't have a purpose, they are lost. I feel like the first thing they should do is self love. Love yourself. Love yourself first. Put yourself first. Think about, because you can have a good job, you can be anywhere, but when you don't love yourself, it's put to waste. So first love comes first. Self love comes first. I would put that. There's a lot they can do. They can pray. Prayer heals. Believing in God. Um, Believing in yourself, no matter what. The first person to have confidence is you, the individual. No one is going to have confidence in you. No one is going to lift you up unless you have that inner you of self motivation and believing in yourself as an individual. I know this is happening most to the people who have just finished campus. They are there, they are not sure where to be, but you don't give up. Believe in yourself, have self love, know your worth, because we are all destined for greatness. No one is destined for being low. So know your worth, know that I'm something no matter what. This is just a journey, and always remember that whatever situation you're going through, you're not the first one and you're not the last. There are people who have been in that situation before, so you know you know that you deserve better, and you know your worth, and have a dream, have a vision. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? You can also use a journal. You can always note down what has happened during the day. What are those things that you like? Yeah, you can use the journals. Um, you can also mind about the decisions you make. Because me, growing up, there's a lady who always tells me, that's my grandmom. She tells me, Whitney, whatever decision you make is your future. Whitney, your decision is your future. So that's what I would want to add to the young people. Your decision, whatever decision you make, it impacts on your future. And also, you can sit down, reflect on who you want to be. What do you want to be? Like basically, that's it, and have a passion. Everyone has a passion somewhere. So you don't lose. You can't have you can't be there without a purpose. So you can use this. And also, to add on to my fellow youth, I feel like we can use the internet to search for different opportunities. You don't have to sit and wait until someone does something for you. Sit on your computer, sit on your phone. It doesn't have to be a computer. Buy that. Look for opportunities. If you want to, the YouTube is there. Google is our best friend, I think, all of us. So you want to learn something, ask Google. You want a scholarship, ask. Everything is out there. So I think the best option right now, for those that are looking for opportunities here and there, don't be too desperate, but you can use the internet. Thank you.
Okay, as since we are in the mental health month, I believe self love and self worth is the most important right now. Um, Thank you all for joining us today. A special thanks to Miss Whitney for this interview. I hope our viewers and the young girls and women have taken this testimony in a positive way, and I hope they can develop themselves, through the advice that you've given us and through your experience. And I just hope feel free to like and comment, share to your friends and family. so that we can reach more people, so they can be more inspired. Yeah, on through our social media platforms, that is Girls for Tech and Innovation Africa, on our YouTube platform and also on our Facebook platform. Yeah, and thank you, Mrs. Whitney, for Miss Whitney, for today. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you, girls, for taking innovation Africa.
Okay. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.